Go shabab, shakbarkum. This is Hussein Nasser from iGeometry, and today we continue. This is the eighth episode. I think this is the eighth episode of .NET programming with ArcObjects. It's been, I think, more than a week since we made our last one. So let's go ahead and catch up where we are so far. So where we are, let's run our best run application here to see where do we stand. Is this running? Yeah, I guess yeah. I just booted up my machine, so you know things are getting loaded into the RAM. Everything is in the hard drive, and hard drives are mechanical parts, so it takes time to boot up all these information for the first time and put it on the RAM, so they get loaded much faster. That's why SSD drives are much better when it comes to performance, because they are not as equal, but they are similar to speed of RAM almost. All right, so where we are, man. Let's see where we are. Yep, so we filtered the categories and populated the venues nice with the names, and we have get the attributes. I think the last one was we managed to select. Yeah, that was it. We can select on the map. And today, now I remember, we will do a flashing. So we will continue our interaction with the map, but this time we'll do something more fun. We will interact with the map so it flashes. We will draw something on the map. This is not drawing, this is just selection. So this is, you're actually interacting with both the geodatabase and the map. The flash or drawing on the display, you will be interacting only with the display, of course. So the display is an object by ESRI, they built it, so you can draw on top of your display, and display can be literally anything. It will allow you to cache in a symbol with the geometry. For example, this geometry is point, so you can tell me, okay, give me the geometry, give me the symbol or the pen, what's your pen, and decide what color your pen is, blue or red, whatever color is, what's the width of your pen, what's uh, the style of your pen, is it hollow, is it dashed, whatever, all these properties. You say, okay, I'm finished, I finished my pen, now draw it on the map, on the display. And it's the fun part, you can specify what is your display here. In our case, we will be only drawing on the screen, okay, but you can do much more. I never tried them though, but you can actually print to a printer or to a file, but it's not really useful. I never used it. So we'll only basically be drawing with the map. So let's start. So let's go ahead and run our Visual Studio. You know, guys, I don't know if you are comfortable with the size of the Visual Studio. It's been 7 episodes so far and nobody complained. So I was rewatching these episodes, and I don't know if I feel that the font is fine, but I'm already recording this in 1080p progressive scan, so I think when you bump up those YouTube features to HD, you can see these fonts, right? But I'll just let me check if I can make this bigger. That's what she said. All right. Font and color. I think that's font and color. No. I'm not sure really. I don't think, is this, let's make this 12. Yeah, that's the one. Is this better? I don't know. Let's try with this now. If you want me to pump it more up, we'll do it. So, all right. So let's start. Okay, so we will start with adding a new button. So you can add a new button from here, as you all know. All right, or you can copy and paste. It's up to you guys. Just doesn't really matter. Okay, so this button is called Flash. Flash is basically, let's call it Flash. Okay. This episode will be a bit long because there are so many things that we need to do and so many things that we need to explain, so many interfaces. Not so many interfaces, but I think it's always tricky. I always forget how to Flash. That's why I have a really made function and library that I built up, and I just use the Flash command. But I do not like to copy and paste code for you guys here, so we need to write everything from scratch. We're not like those examples copied by SRI that you can just copy and paste. We need to understand every single line of code. We need to document it, and that's why we made this YouTube channel. If you are here, then you obviously didn't feel comfortable with reading the examples you found in ESRI or EDN for that matter. So right, that's why you're here. We need to explain every single interface, every single thing. We try as much as possible. And if you guys feel that there is something that we didn't explain, please go ahead and just remind me, okay? All right, so let's go ahead. All right, so first, flashing is basically a flashing feature. Basically means that you need to highlight it, so it will show in a certain color and it will hide, and then again it will show and it will hide, right? So there's a repetition. So there's, you can see that, okay, flash. No, what are you doing? So flash and then hide and then flash and what is this? Flash and then hide and so on. So flash is just basically draw. So you draw and hide and draw and hide. This is what we will do. So first of all, we need to draw, right? So drawing, to draw something on the map, first of all, let's get the feature, right? The selected feature. Well, we have this function, right? This select, click select, so it will take the selected venue, and from the selected restaurant you can get the layer and then get the feature class and then get the feature by object ID. We explained this in the previous episode. You can go back and just listen to these explanations. So we have the feature here, so let's copy and paste. Again, guys, this is a bad idea. Don't copy and paste, but I'm explaining things here. If we get advanced to the 17th episode and 19th, we will see something much more efficient. But I cannot speak efficient now. I need to explain things because these YouTube videos will be watched by beginners in the GIS and beginners even in the programming. So I cannot just go in and build I don't know, model MVP models and view. You know, I need to make things as simple as possible, right? So let's get this. I have the feature now. From the feature, we need to flash the feature, but we need to start to draw something. To draw, there is some interface called P-Screen Display, as I screen display, right? This nice interface, let's just import it. We will use this to draw on the map, but as you know, this is just an empty skeleton. It's just a variable. It points to nothing. So how to get the screen display of the current document? Well, I need the document. So we declare an mx document equal application.document. And then, there you go, pmx document.activeView.screen display. Very easy. Get the screen display so we can start drawing, right? So what we will do is basically we will draw now. So p screen display to start drawing. And now we need two pieces of information here. what is the device context that you are drawing on? So the device context can be so many things here. Can be the screen, can be the printer as I explained, but for here we'll just use the default one, which is the screen. And to get that, you simply say pscreen_display.hdc, right? Which is the handle of the device context, okay? And this is pretty tricky. So this is called the caching. Okay, says, yes, so I built this so you can draw faster and faster. So do you want this drawing to be cached so you can use it later or not? Well, you can do that. To cache it, you can actually cache that drawing so you can draw it much faster. Instead of drawing it, you just ArcMap will store it somewhere in the RAM, and you will just be, it will take it directly from the RAM without redrawing all these parameters. So it is actually ESRI. We will use no caching. We'll not need to cache. It's actually pretty fast. You don't need to cache. So esri.arcgis.display. I hope I'm right, but it is esri screen cache. Yeah, that's it. Dot esri no screen cache. You can record or you can cache the whole screen, but we'll choose esri no cache or -1. Right? As you can see, the -1. But I don't want to put just random numbers for you guys. So you know why it's, if you saw some example of flash geometry functions, you can see that there will be a -1, and that's the actual value, right? So we start drawing, and then we actually draw something here, and then after we finish, we say, hey, I finished drawing. So finished drawing. That's it. So actually, not that's it. We need to draw the actual feature, right? I have the feature here. The feature have something called geometry, right? That's the name of our channel, right? It's called IGeometry, and the IGeometry is the actual geometry of a feature. Every feature has a geometry. It can be a point, a polygon, a line, and multi-point, so many things. All right. So it can be a point, polygon, line, so many things. All right. So we can draw 3 things here with the screen display function. So here's screen display. So there's something called draw, multi-point, point, polygon, polyline, rectangle, so many things, text. So we will use the draw point. And draw point require an IGeometry and of course a point. You need to draw a point for that. Okay, and we know that our restaurant features are points, so we can use the geometry of the feature. But I never said how to get the geometry from the feature, so this is how we do it. To get the geometry, let's call it p point as IGeometry. Just do it like this, and equal p feature.shape, right? This is IGeometry. Let's include the esri arcgis.geometry. Get the point geometry. So this is, we introduced so far 2 interfaces, iScreen display and IGeometry, which is the name of our channel. IGeometry I consider the most important interface in ArcObjects. Personally, it's my favorite. So IGeometry is the geometry interface. Every single geometry type implements this interface. Okay, so we have, so shape is the actual geometry of that feature. I don't know why they didn't call it geometry. It would be really convenient, but they called it shape, so we have to stick with that, right? So this is how we get the geometry from a feature, and we casted the geometry to a geometry object because this is an IGeometry, so I can do that. and I'll just point that, and hopefully that will be enough. And surprisingly, we don't even need to refresh the map. Not sure, but let's try out. I don't think we need to refresh the map because screen display happens on the screen itself. It doesn't happen on the map. This is very important because this is a Windows operation. This is a Windows API. It's calling a Windows API, and then ArcMap doesn't know about it. ArcMap doesn't control these graphics. It's actually, these are not graphics. This is just drawings on the screen itself. So let's compile and let's run. So we notice that we draw and we didn't specify any other information. So we casted the geometry, started the drawing, draw point, and finish drawing. So let's try out our new function. So wow, there's an error. Let's see what we have done. Okay, so when I clicked, I got an error, and it says, what does it say, man? 350. What is this error? It's a COM object, so this is a generic error. It says interrupt. Well, let's try to guess the error then. What did we do wrong? So I get the feature, I use this, and I didn't cache it. I start drawing, I got the geometry, I drew the point, and I finished drawing. Suppose everything is okay, but I guess, again guys, I didn't do this for a long time, so I think we need to set the symbol here. So I was hoping that that everything will go with the default values, but apparently we need to set the symbol of drawing. What are you drawing exactly? But apparently there is no default symbol. So let's just try to set a symbol here. So it set symbol, it takes a symbol at ISymbol. So what is a symbol? A symbol is basically a style of drawing. So when you draw to the map or you draw to the screen, you need to specify, as I said, the color, the size, and the geometry as well. No, not geometry. The symbol, you specify how do you want to draw your element, basically. So there are, as we have geometry, different type of geometries. We have different type of symbols. So there are marker symbol, there are line symbols, and there are polygon symbol or fill symbols. So marker symbols are used to draw markers or points. Line symbols are used to draw, you guessed it, lines. Polygon symbols or fill symbols are used to draw polygons. For now, we will just use the marker symbol, and a marker symbol needs to be an object. So we need to create a new symbol, of course. It doesn't exist on the map. You have to cast it. You have to instantiate a new object of the symbol. So let's go a new marker symbol. It's called new simple marker symbol. Every single one of them starts with a simple marker symbol, simple line symbol, simple fill symbol. So it's all starts with symbol. This is the simplest type. So P marker symbol, as you can see, there are so many other information here: size, color, and angle. What's the angle of your drawing of your symbol? X offset, Y offset. We are interested in the size and the color. So the size, let's make it 10. And the color, unfortunately, you can't just say red or blue, black or blue. You have to, color object is IColor, all right? So we have to declare an object of type color to draw it. I don't want to take the risk to, I don't know if this is directly takes black, but let's just Let's just create a color object here so we don't get into another error. So p color as I color, I think, no, RGB color equal new RGB color, and that's ESRI, right? Yes. So IRGB color is the red, green, blue color, and p color dot RGB equal RGB, which is red, green, bright. This is a Windows function. This is a property for ESRI. So you have to set the color of this, and I want it to be red. So 255010. Okay. So if you guys don't know this, this is basically basic programming function. The RGB function creates an integer number which represents a color. Okay, so to do that, you have to specify from 0 to 255, which is 2 to power 8. If I'm wrong, if I'm right, I guess, yeah. So you have to specify how many these colors, 3 different type of colors, and mix them up. So in this case, we just draw a red color. So now, after I created my color object, I'm gonna set it into this p color. I set the size, I set the color, and I can now take this IMarkerSymbol and set it to the set symbol function in the screen display. Some of you might say that, well, this is a marker symbol, right? It's IMarkerSymbol, but this set symbol implements ISymbol, needs an ISymbol. But I said, yeah, of course, because simple marker symbol, it implements ISymbol, so we're fine. This will not generate any errors. So what are we missing? We created a symbol, we set the symbol, we drew the point, we finished drawing. So that should be all of it, right? So we tried to draw without setting the symbol and we got an error. So now we set a symbol and now we should be fine. Let's try. Diners, go ahead please. Yes, it worked. I don't know if you guys noticed or not. Did you see? Well, it's red, but it worked. So let's show you. Let's go back. Click here. I think you noticed, but it is red, and let's select something. No, because I selected without selecting. I click and select without selecting the object. So cafes will show. So when I click this flash, now you see it, right? Now you don't. All right. Now you see it. Now you don't. See, I'm flashing, or I'm not actually flashing. I'm just drawing on the map here. Okay. So this is not flashing. This is simply drawing. That's not very nice. I mean, flashing doesn't work like this. When I click flash, it's supposed to blink, right? So how do we do that? And this requires some computer science skills, guys. So did you notice, guys, when I click here and I just move the map, everything disappears, right? Why? Because when you refresh the map, the screen is refreshed and every single drawing is just vanished. All right. So cousins, select, you get the point, right? So how to flash? So to flash something, if we return here, we need to what? We need to draw this we did, and then we hide it, and then we draw again, and then we hide it, and then we draw again. Okay, some of you might guess that, okay, let's do that. I draw and I will refresh, right? And I will draw again, I will refresh, and I will draw again, and I will refresh, right? It will work, but it will not be as smooth, because it will never work, believe me, because when you draw and refresh, the drawing is actually faster than the refresh, and the moment you finish your drawing, the refresh didn't complete, so your drawing, the second drawing will disappear before you can see it. So This will not work. So to fix that, let's open the notepad and explain some function called XOR. You know that, right? XOR is an operator which, if you say 1 XOR 1 gives you 0, 0 XOR 1 gives you 1, 1 XOR 1, 0 gives you 1, and 0 XOR 0 gives you 0. So if it's similar, you get 0. If it's similar, the two binaries are similar, you get 0. And if they are different, you get 1. So why are we explaining this, and what has this to do with whatever we're working on? Patience, my children. You will be enlightened in a minute. So bear this in mind. Let's go back. Here, when I draw on the map, right? When I draw something on the map, I use something called a pen. This, whatever we're drawing with a pen. Okay, and this pen has this color and this size, and we can change the size, by the way. Let's make it 15 just so we can see it. All right, and we draw with a pen, and this pen can be styled. You can use an inverted color. You can use there are so many things, and we can set the pen, and the pen is actually here. Pscreen dot. I need to remember this. I don't remember. Where is it, man? Screen display. Is it screen display set? I don't remember. Believe it or not. It is called. Well, it is a pen. So yeah, it's actually in the symbol. We're drawing with the symbol, and the symbol has this pen, but it's not in the marker symbol. It is in the ISymbol, if I am not mistaken. So let's declare a let's dimension a symbol object, and I can cast it to the marker symbol because they are simple marker symbol implements IMarker and implements ISymbol, so I can do this. So we have done this with the feature layer. Go back to the third episode, I guess, to know the difference between interfaces and classes and how we cast things together. So when I say simple dot, there's something called ROP. I forgot what it stands for, but this is the pen. P stands for pen, O stands for operator, I guess, R is for I don't know, and I don't know what the 2 stands for. There must be a 1, but anyway. Yes, sorry, it's a raster operator code. That's what it stands for. Raster operator pen code. So the pen has so many things. This pen that you're drawing with, you can draw it pure pitch black. You can copy the pen, which means copy the color of the screen. And there are other stuff. But what I'm interested here in is this. Okay? It is the XOR, the NOT XOR pen. So what does this do? Well, this is called NOT XOR. NOT XOR. Can you guess what NOT XOR does? Where while NOT XOR 1 will be equal to the opposite of this. So if they are similar, they will give you 1. If they are different, they will give you 0. 1 in XOR 0 equals 0, and 0 in XOR 0 will be equal 1. So if these guys, if you are not XORing similar colors or object or bits, and this applies to colors, if they are the same color, you will get the same color, and if they are different, you'll get 0. So what does this mean? This basically means when you are drawing on the same color, you will get 1, which means transparent, which will force the drawing to be transparent. So this is, think of this as the pen and not XOR the screen pixel. So this is the pen pixel, you're drawing in red, and you're XORing it with the pixel of the screen. So if the screen is, let's say, yellow or whatever, let's say I'm drawing in this case here, the screen on this particular point is white. So when you're drawing red, what does it mean? Let's go to that one. Okay, when you're drawing red, if these are different, then just draw the same color. If they are not different, then what you have to do is basically remove it. So this will clear the screen. So this is what I'm trying to explain here. If we are flashing will basically, if you draw again, it will override that color and will reinvert the original color. So that's what NOT XOR pen does. So when you set the symbol and draw, and you set the symbol and draw again, the color will, the red and the red will goes together and it will disappear. So it will show as it is flashing. So let's try that. I hope it will be clear, guys. I try to explain it as simple as possible. So let's go ahead and try that out. And so the first time I will click, we'll get a red. The second time I click, that red should disappear. So we'll see about that. No, I don't want diners. I want cafes because they are white and should show. Flash shows, flash again, disappears. Flash disappears. You get the point, guys? Because I'm drawing, and then when I draw again on top of it, it just cancels each other. So red, he's trying to draw exactly the same color on the same color, which will force it to disappear. I think this should be right, and NOT XOR would be like this. Yes. So I don't want to click to flash. I want just one click to flash, let's say 3 times. So can we do that? Well, we should use the, well, we will draw, right? Draw something, and then we need to wait for some time, and then we need to draw again, and then we wait for some time, and then we need to draw again, right? And then we wait for some time. So this is how we basically flash, right? Because instead of doing it manually, we should do it an even number of times. Yes, an even. We should draw it in an even number of times, because draw again, this will hide. Draw, it will show. Draw again, it will hide. So let's try that. So we will draw and we will wait so the user can see it, because if we don't wait, it will happen in the blink of an eye. Actually, it's faster than the blink of an eye. Okay, so screen, no, we have to wait. How to wait? There is a function called threading.thread.sleep. Threading.thread.sleep, and we will wait just for a fraction of a second. 200 milliseconds will be enough, actually. All right, and then we need just to draw again this guy, and then we will wait, and then we will draw, and then we will wait, and then we will draw. Oh, didn't copy that. I didn't copy that. So we will wait. Actually, we don't need to wait the last one. So let's see. So I draw, it will hide. I will draw, it will hide. I will draw and hide. So that should do it. Let's build that. Hopefully we are doing things right here. Let's run, select a phase, and flash. You see that, guys? I hope YouTube captures that. So this is 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So this is how we do the flashing. It's a pretty long uh, episode, I know, because there is a lot of interfaces. So how many interfaces did we introduce, guys? We introduced the IGeometry. That's very nice geometry. And we have IMarkerSymbol. We have the new simple marker symbol. We have IRGBColor. We have ISymbol. And we have this raster operator code. So we can XOR, not XOR it, because XORing it will not lead the same result, right? We set the symbol, we draw. So this is how we basically flash a restaurant. So I think that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Subscribe and like if you, and leave any comments if you have any questions, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, I'm planning to make this series into 10 episodes, just like Game of Thrones, HBO specific, right? So all right, so and if you guys see this something that you're interested in and you want to see more, just leave some comments, and I will definitely record more episode of .NET programming with ArcObject. But I want to stop it at 10 because I want to introduce the JavaScript. Some people are really asking me to learn JavaScript, ArcGIS for JavaScript, and I hope really enjoyed this, guys. For the JavaScript, we're gonna make another video. I just finished publishing my third book. You can check it out. It's in the description below. Again, I'm gonna put this code with the latest document file in the description as well. You can download it. All right. Again, subscribe, like, and see you on the next one. Stay awesome. Goodbye.